Hello there, and welcome back to Ears to the East, where Neon's not here, he's late. What do you think about that, Benedict? What do you think about people who are not on time? It's shameful.
I mean, it's a very un-German thing to do.
He was born in Germany,
It's
but he
fine.
lost so many of the good qualities, didn't he?
I'm sure he has his reasons.
You said,
Probably he doesn't want to see us.
yeah, you said that while rubbing your chin. I'm sure he has his reasons. Well, anyway,
Didn't
so
say I like them.
I can't wait till he watches this back. We were talking anyway about AI, and AI's been a little bit of a controversial subject because, I mean, there's a lot of conversations about, using AI for art and various things. But for today, we're putting all that conversation aside. We're just here to have a little bit of a giggle. Now, some of you might know that last year on Back a Broadcast, I was doing some stuff with some of the guys in the community using a app called Midjourney, and Benedict was saying he's been using it as well. So we wanted to share some of the baby metal images. We're going to keep to that particular topic because we both did images related to baby metal whilst we were playing around with
Almost
Midjourney.
exclusive baby metal, but
Almost
I will tell you right.
We're going to have a little bit of a play with some of the stuff we've done in AI today. But first, we're going to look at some of the images that that Benedict's created. Now, just honestly though, isn't really playing with this like Midjourney thing. It's just sitting down trying to think, what can I type in that's going to get an image that I actually want. Right, that's 90% of the work.
I mean, it depends if you really want an image out of it. I just found it interesting, and we will get to it just in a minute. But what will come out if I type in certain things? Just found it very interesting. And I mean, some of it looks really cool in my opinion.
But you, especially if you're doing something band related, you actually kind of want it to look like the band. Because I know I did the band made ones, and I just couldn't stop making it just basically get generic cleaning lady holding a guitar. That was what every image was. It would not sway towards actually doing something that looked like band made. I spent a while
I
on
mean,
that.
it really depends. I'm not sure. Maybe have some more intel on that. But like, what kind of references the AI is actually having? So if I'm typing in baby metal, does it really like have some database where there are a lot of baby metal pictures or something, or does it actually like just take the words and is trying to combine baby and metal?
Well, the weird thing is actually because we were discussing. I did my pictures about a year ago. I think you did yours quite recently, from what we were saying.
No, it's also I think around a year,
Okay. So the
a bit
reason
longer.
the reason I bring this up is because like Midjourney is really really cool. It made a lot of waves, but it's also an app that I now am using like the Bing AI. That's right, people. Bing still exists. I'm using the Bing AI because it will generate, and it's got no limit. Like Midjourney had a limit on how many you could use because it was like a community made project, I believe. But like the Bing one, it just will generate pictures forever. So I've started using that, but I noticed with the Bing one, because obviously I've been able to play with that much more as it's limitless, that it will deliberately avoid anything that it thinks is a trademark or a real person's face. So, for example,
Okay.
I uploaded my actual like channel logo, and I said, just gave it some instructions, do some stuff with it like this, and it would always take the logo and it would change the actual logo. It would make something similar, but not keep it exactly the same. And I kept on saying, no, 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 do it exactly the same. And say, oh, sorry, I'll do it exactly the same. And it changed it again. So clearly, because they didn't know the logo belonged
Okay.
to me, they didn't want to. And also, I think it won't do that. However, I do remember that Midjourney, when it first became famous, a lot of people were doing pictures with celebrities. But I think Midjourney struggles to find pictures of certain celebrities. So, like, if it's someone super famous, if it's like a sort of a Taylor Swift or something like that, then it's going to probably be pretty accurate. But if it's something that is famous but relatively niche, then it probably will completely skip, especially if you're referencing a band name. Because, like you say,
I
baby
mean,
metal.
that's
Yeah.
kind of what I meant. That really depends on like what database or like what references the AI has. I mean, someone could make a Japanese music AI which has everything about Japanese music, and then it probably would be pretty accurate.
I think the companies are all covering their ass against copyright though, because the truth is that they all want theirs to be the next big thing, and they know the best way to do that is to actually have like networks be connected with people, be used by various companies, and therefore, if you're seen to be infringing on copyrights, then you're going to get shut down pretty quick. So I think
Yeah,
that all
but
the
especially
AIs
like
being,
logos, that's really difficult because I mean, portraying a person, like painting a picture of a person, that's not really infringing copyright. But if you put their logo on it, then it is infringing copyright.
well, I mean, when you portray a person, you're not infringing copyright, but what I mean, you could potentially then put that person in any situation, which means you could do something potentially defamatory and say, well, hey, I didn't mean it to look like that. I was just typing stuff in Midjourney, and Midjourney said that you want to put a picture like this. I don't know. Yeah,
But I
people.
mean, you could draw like a comic and mocking someone. That's not really against the law, is it?
No, but the thing is that no, like AI wants if something goes viral or becomes like a big community deal, no AI company wants to be caught up in some scandal related to that. So
Yeah, that's true.
I think they're all playing it safe because let's face it, we live in a world where people only read the headlines, so they're just going to see like a picture of like
And they're complaining very fast.
yeah. They'll see a picture of some famous person who perhaps they really like doing something terrible and then just the word Mid-Journey above it and Mid-Journey allowed this picture to be made and they won't read the rest of the article. They'll be like, oh, Mid-Journey hates my favourite band. Fuck Mid-Journey. You know, it'll be like that. So,
I mean, they are facing enough criticism already with people like saying this will get rid of real art and things, and every artist will lose their job now because of things like that, which I don't think is true at all.
I think, I mean, like I said, that's kind of a conversation that I think probably is worth covering at some point. I know we were all sort of talking about that a little bit a year ago and it came up, so it'd be good to follow that one up again. But I do think that I think that there is a lot more potential to AI than perhaps people suspect, but I think there is also always a market for something which is relatably human. However, convincingly, a computer will be able to, even when they're completely able to convince us that they're human, there will still always be a market for people who are just like, yeah, but you know, I just kind of, I want the real thing. I want something that was made by an artist. It will become like, you know, when people say handmade, handmade usually means worse. Why does things made by robots are usually better than things that are handmade? But people still want handmade. So there, yeah. Anyway, let's start.
Have you seen, if we are at the art section, just one thing I want to mention, have you seen the rock, paper, scissors anime, which was animated by AI?
I love the fact
You should really watch that.
I love the fact you said that after our previous conversation where I made it pretty clear I've only seen one anime before.
I mean, that's not a real anime. It's just a 8-minute video by an animation company actually who tried doing animation with AI because like the actual animating process, it's pretty like costly. And it looks actually pretty good, but still, and you know, there are a lot of comments like saying this is the end for animation and stuff. But I think if you look at that video and how it's made, still it was first recorded, thought out, the whole storyline, the whole cinematography, everything of that was thought out by a human and didn't have any AI part in it. The AI just did the animation on top. So I don't think it will ever take away the whole creative process of a human.
Well, I think the question will always come down to how much randomness is a AI capable of. Because the thing is, at the moment, if you want something good out of any AI, you have to give it quite a detailed instruction. Not because it needs the details, but because the more details you give it, the more unique it is, because it's your ability to imagine randomness. Now, obviously, AI will eventually be able to, well, not supplant, but certainly come up with its own version. It'll be able to think of the randomness. You'll be able to think of plot lines that you won't be able to think of, stuff like that. But it's always going to be an alternative rather than a replacement. You know, I mean, and you know, I'm completely convinced that AI will eventually be able to do stuff which is not possible to tell apart from human. But that I don't think that will in itself replace humans. I think it will just mean that there will be two different forms of two ways of approaching art.
Sent you a song, I think it was a couple of weeks ago already, of Kakurio Terror. BWG is the name of the song. Because that song, to me, it sounds like someone would have told an AI make a song that sounds like all the Japanese groups that we know and love together.
Well,
Should really listen to that song. I feel it's really funny.
I get that, and at the same time, like I'm thinking, Oasis sounds like someone said to an AI, "Hey, create generic rock band." So you know, there's always in the same way that AI's got a lot of room to improve, and employ like better tactics. Humans have
generic
got lots of
Japanese
ways to
music
let
is
ourselves
still.
down.
Yeah. All right. I think we should get into some pictures.
All right. So here's the first image, and so I really want to know. I don't know how much I should guess.
You can try to guess what I typed in. I mean, you can always type in a sentence or certain keywords,
Well,
and then
I'm going to get so much shit from people when I say these predictions. Everyone's like, Howard, what are you talking about? I'm getting a distinct Moa vibe.
Moa.
Yeah, I'm getting a Moa vibe from this first picture.
Like any other people you could maybe see in there?
Well, now my understanding is these are all like the BABYMETAL pictures. These are all BABYMETAL related. The ones,
because like I said, there's one, and this is actually it. That's not exclusively BABYMETAL. I will give you that hint.
See, the problem is it could be too many people if it's not Moa. But I mean, the BABYMETAL crew, it's definitely the eyes making me think Moa. Got the Moa look.
Interesting.
So,
because to me it looks a bit more like Yui actually.
Oh really? Okay. So, I'm going to be honest with you. We all know this. I'm the ears person here. So I mean, I probably haven't spent even quarter as much time actually looking at BABYMETAL videos as most people who are into BABYMETAL. So I probably am way off, which is why, like I say, there's going to be a lot of people shouting at their monitors right now or their phones right now. How is you're an idiot?
I actually showed that picture in one of my videos at the very start of my channel, and some people, I think, mentioned, I will tell you now, they actually got that bandmate is in there because of the headband.
Yeah, see, in a way that almost feels like that feels just like something that's there to trick you that way. But I don't know. I mean, a slight Miku vibe.
Maybe the AI is trying to trick you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. I typed in BABYMETAL bandmate Love Bites as one Japanese anime character. So actually, all of the people should be in there. But yeah.
Why did Midjourney?
It sounds the most like Miku and Yui together, to be honest. But some people also mentioned Asami, I think.
I don't know. I'm not seeing any Asami in there. None of
me neither. But
I'm interested. Was it just the word "maid" that just made Midjourney decide that this had to be like an 18th century servant girl? I'm not quite sure where that.
I cannot really tell you that. I don't know the reference they are using. I'm not really sure if Midjourney even knows all these groups.
Well, so. let's move on to the next one, which is this is 4 images. I can see later on you sort of like delved into these.
This is actually like you get presented first when you type in the idea. You get presented with 4 like little preview pictures, and then you can pick one which will get made into a higher quality one. Like evolved even more. So now I closed my description thing. Sorry, 1 second. Here and here. So I actually typed in epic BABYMETAL concert, and yeah, that's what came out.
That's pretty.
These 4 ones.
That's pretty cool. Now I can see you've expanded upon those, so I just want to jump ahead a little bit, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Let's jump.
There are two of those that I liked, and I tried to make into a nicer picture. And one of those is actually the one I'm used for my song picture.
Oh right, for your own like original music. I'm looking at them both. I must admit they both look really kind of cool. The one where the red is more pronounced, it almost has a slightly Chinese vibe because of like the red, and it looks has that much more of that feel. Whereas the other one where there's like a smaller red band around her waist and she's standing in that sort of group of indistinguishable characters, that one looks a little bit more devilish, a little bit more BABYMETAL to me. That's the old
absolutely school. Much more like a hardcore metal album cover.
Yeah, also the sort of the light of the flames in the background. I also like actually what really struck me about this one as well is if you look right at the back up at the top, you do kind of have like stage lights coming in from behind it. So it's like
Yeah,
here's a view in
yeah.
hell, but it's also a functional music venue. You know.
I think you have the same in the other picture. It kind of looks like walking to a stage, or like could
Yeah,
look like some symbols of drums on the side there next to her.
but
Um,
I think we're already kind of
yeah.
feeling that almost looks like almost like a sort of a military parade of a kind. But yeah, I think in a way that again, you've kind of staged
But
like.
the colors that the Midjourney AI was choosing, it actually makes me think it knows baby metal because it's always red and black, and that's yeah,
Well,
baby metal.
we're going to get on in a moment after we've looked at these. We're going to get onto a couple that I programmed around the same time, and I agree. Same color palette came up, so I think that even though probably it was looking for baby metal, and even though it wasn't really allowed to reference faces exactly, it probably looked at the images, did a color scan, and found out that most of the images come out with a mixture of red, black, and therefore decided to just use that prevalence of
Hmm.
color, perhaps.
You can go to the two pictures in between because I actually try to focus on one specific face. I'm
Yeah,
not
let's have a
sure
look at those. So,
if you can notice which one. I mean, I think the first one looks a bit better, or
I'm
like more than the person I tried to catch.
I've got to say this. No, I'm going to get such a kick in if I get this wrong. This gives me a really strong Sue vibe.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is.
good, good. Okay, I'm so
So
glad.
I think it's yeah, you can kind of see it, and yeah, that also makes me think the AI probably had some Suzuka Nakamoto pictures to compare.
So, what did you actually type in for this one? Because I mean, I guess if you focus right in on the face, it's got less chance to like back out of it and
But I
try.
typed in Suzuka Nakamoto anime hyperrealistic epic singing tears.
Now
Just some
that's a proper AI instruction. That's the way AI instructions work the best. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that is sort of like the sort of metal tears down the face as well.
Actually, I didn't. What I found interesting, I didn't try to have like a just a picture of the face. I'd never specified that anywhere, but it always gave me just pictures of a face. So that's kind of how the AI operates.
I
If you type in a name, probably.
Yeah, it's interesting because sometimes it changes. I mean, it must have been some photo that made it think this was the way to go, perhaps. But I do find it interesting. I think the first one is a little bit more cool, a little bit more metal, where you got the defined like streaks down the cheeks. The other
Yeah,
one
I like
looks a
that
little
one.
bit more Sadako horror movie, and the bloodshot eyes as well play into it. But I think that in a way, the more horror movie one actually facially looks more like Sue. But style
You
wise,
think?
yeah, to me, it looks more like Soothe. But the other one looks a little bit less like Soothe. The eyes are, I feel, a little bit more round the top of the cheekbones.
And you have to say those are actually pretty nice pictures of faces. I mean, there were a lot. I tried a lot around with this, and a lot of times the faces they look really strange and weird. You can
Yeah.
even see it in the very first one, like the combined one. Like the eyes are not really the same. They could look kind of off. One eye is slightly bigger and stuff like that.
I
Can get pretty weird.
I always wonder if it's got loads of pictures of people slightly from the side. That might be the reason why it does that weird thing where one eye is often bigger than the other. But yeah, those close up ones, they look. I mean, they look really convincing. All right, so I'm going to skip ahead just to like the
Yeah.
ones that I did. So the first one,
Speaking of weird faces.
this is a properly weird face. Now I'm going to be honest, I can't remember what I typed in because these were ages ago, and I just kind of had these saved in a folder. This one, I was definitely playing around a lot with the word fox because I was liking the idea of having like fox god related images. Now this
Who would
one,
have guessed?
I think by the time I started doing the Babe Metal ones, I'd already played with a couple other bands and I realised that it wasn't going to give me accurate faces. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to like generically get people who are in the right look. And I love the fact said nothing about wearing a fox as a hat. But this one, where I got that idea from, I don't know if it was maybe looking at too many Japanese cultures, because there's that thing in Japanese culture about like they get characters and they'll like make character crossovers where one character is wearing a hoodie of another character's head. This is a really common thing in Japan. So you'll have like
Yeah, it's true.
Hello Kitty is like wearing like a Doraemon like hoodie, and it's Doraemon's face on top of Hello Kitty's face. So sometimes it'll be a character wearing another character, or it'll be something like, you could have like, I'm going to reference the only anime I know. You could have Bocce from Bocce the Rock wearing like a Gudetama sweater, and so she's got like the egg like looking body and everything. So that's kind of a common Japanese trope. So I wonder if that's where it referenced it from, but just the idea of wearing a fox hoodie, that was cool.
You mean maybe you referenced something like Japanese or I don't know, something in that way in which made it go to this hoodie thing.
Yeah.
Or like anime, maybe something.
I don't think I would have typed anime, I'm going to be honest with you. But maybe my nationalist
Probably
streak came out somewhere else, yeah. But yeah, that one was really cool. The next one, this one was like seriously dumb.
So just one thing, because you probably just typed in baby metal, right?
I typed it...
Not a specific person.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't have typed in the name of a person, most likely. I can't remember, but by this point, when I started doing the baby metal ones, I'd already practiced a bit, so I was typing in like a lot of keywords, but probably not an individual.
Because if I'm looking at this, like, if I'm covering the one half of the face, could be either one, actually. If you just cover one half of the face, it really looks to me like, yeah, the left half looks like Moa and the right half looks like Yui.
I'm agreeing on the left half. The right half looks like I don't know. She looks like a very active female boxer.
Maybe Yui is right now.
Who knows? Who knows?
Pumped up.
Yeah, she doesn't look like somebody you'd mess with. I'll certainly give her that. So if we move on to the next one, I thought this one made me laugh because this one looks so demonic. It looks like it come off one of those really edgelord late 90s metal
this
albums.
also looks like the most baby metal from all of the pictures we looked at.
Now I remember
I see this and I immediately think of like the Megitsune video.
Yes. Now with this one, I remember I typed something along the lines of baby metal leading an army of fox soldiers. It was something like that. And
again with the hoodies.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the one down next to them at the front on the right, that one's just got on a full-on like creepy like alien face thing going on there. Like the hoodie's consumed its face, and the other ones look like they're halfway through being consumed. But the three girls in the middle, that could full-on be like baby metal. I mean, the one in the middle looks like a demonic Sue. You got a little demonic
like
Yui. Yeah. She's got no neck. Her neck has been like nominally removed. However, otherwise, it's there. But I was really impressed by by even though it's a bit weird, I felt that it really came across to me like the vibe, the atmosphere, the creepiness was there. So I really enjoyed this one. And it is definitely, the thing is, the style is blurry and abstract enough that you can forgive the lack of accuracy on actually being able to recognize them.
Yeah, that's true.
Next one is where we get into real creepo territory. This one was like...
I'd really like to know what you typed in there.
I was taking several artists and I was typing like various things connecting them to ramen. Like, so I did one which was Kyari Pami Pami branded ramen, and it just put a picture of Kyari Pami with just like ramen on top of her head like it was coming out of her brain. I was like, that's insane. And then I did this one with, so if you put ramen into a band search, it really gets pretty messed up quick. But this appears to be one member of Baby Metal and a approximation zombie in the background just appearing from out of a bowl. This
really looks like a zombie.
This is one of the most horrifying things I can imagine, and yet, again, it's in keeping with the metal style, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Do you recognize anyone there?
Interesting. Yeah, I do recognize, like, I think it's Moa, but I also see like a zombie.
Yeah, doesn't look like Chashu.
Is it supposed to be Moa?
I don't know, I kind of got a bit of a Yui vibe, actually. So once again, I'm probably going to go in a different direction. The one closest gave me a bit of a Yui vibe.
Yeah, and like the one in the back, I'm not sure if it's a human.
Yeah, well, I'm worried about what's going on with its mouth. It looks like it's playing some kind of ramen accordion. Um, that's just terrifying. Let's be honest, just
I
terrifying.
mean, this ramen, I'm wondering like if it's a real picture because this looks so real.
Yeah, I think it's referenced some photographs in here as well.
Probably, right?
I imagine it's got to have. But so that one's weird enough that we'll skip on to the last one. The last one, by the way, has got text at the bottom, but the text was added later after a few people actually suggested this caption for the picture. So I added the text later.
This one is my favorite.
Yeah, this one I think is just brilliant. The Fox God knows, and the weird sort of you can see the outfit is given to the fox is the same outfit that it gave to the three girls in that blurry image a bit earlier.
Yeah.
So you can see it's clearly referencing that from somewhere. But
Yeah, but also the fox looks kind of weird. Like it doesn't have eyes, or this in the middle, which I think should be the nose.
I don't know
Is
if it's
like
looking
one
at me
eye.
or away. It's like its face is on backwards, which makes it looks like something out
To
of
me, it's
a
like he's looking up. Like you can't see his eyes because he's looking up.
maybe it looks like something out of Pan's Labyrinth though. In all fairness, it's just got
Yeah, that's true.
that complete like it's a thing and yet it's not right, like something's wrong. And then in the background we have what I would assume it's pleasantly like vague enough we can't tell, but I would assume it's kind of Sue looking over at
I
it.
would have guessed the same. Yeah. But also this kind of looks like a really good character portrait.
Yeah, that one just really.
Like more normal or unweird than some of the others.
So this one I actually did put something along the lines of baby metal meet the fox god, something like that. I can't remember the exact words, but it was something along those lines. And very intriguing that it came up with this. So I thought that was
I
seriously
think this
cool.
one is very interesting because usually you have like the girls in front and the foxes are like behind and overlooking, and this one it's kind of the opposite.
Yeah, I think maybe because I said fox god, maybe that was the reason why I decided to give that more attention because it was the only character at the specific, who actually said specifically this one character. But yeah, no,
I think this one is also I really like the text because it doesn't say only the fox god knows. It says the fox god knows.
yes, that was just kind of something that I felt like just felt right with the image.
Yeah, it kind of really fits this image.
I think it's that kind of feeling that is like you don't have to say only because she's standing there right with the fox god, so it just kind of like it plays in, yeah. And
Yeah.
obviously, I pipetted the color out of the actual color from the fur of the fox just to make sure it matched perfectly. But yeah,
Nice.
that's really that's a good image. I'm going to say though the most accurate one in my opinion. I'm still going back to the Sadako close-up face one. That to me that's 100% Sue. I'm definitely seeing Sue in that image, 100%. Really comes across to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so there you go, everyone. There's a little bit of a preview of us playing with making some Babe Metal images. I hope that you enjoyed that. I really actually, again, for now, I know there's a whole heated debate about the AI thing. We talked about this on my channel last year and various stuff. And so, we're not trying to put any artists out of work. But this is an interesting technological thing. And it's going to happen whether you like it or not. So let's talk about it and enjoy it. And, I'm sure as a society, we'll look after our artists and make sure that we appreciate them properly. But there's no point pretending that AI isn't happening.
I think there will be always be work. It's just going to be different work.
I agree. I really do not see that going away. I think that it's kind of like when like when music went from being something where everyone bought CDs, they still kind of do in Japan, to like no one buys CDs really in the West, and it all changed. The whole economy of the music industry changed, and live became the major factor and everything. But the music industry kept on going, and all of these industries keep on going through big changes sometimes. But for now, we're playing around with this. I hope you guys have been having fun. Like I say, the Midjourney one is great. Go check out Midjourney. It does have a limited number of entries, but their AI is really good. If you want to just keep on playing forever,
And it's
though.
also not super expensive if you want to invest in it.
True, actually, someone on my community's done that, actually. And so they've sent me some more stuff afterwards. I was like, can you type
I
this
was
in?
really thinking about it as well because it's pretty fun.
Well, I'm actually thinking what I might do is I might type in a description of us for the thumbnail. What do you think about
That's
that?
an interesting idea, yeah.
All right,
But I think
how do you want to describe yourself? How are you going to describe yourself for the thumbnail? You tell me the wording. And no, maybe we should describe each
think
other.
about it.
Maybe we should describe each other for the thumbnail. All right.
That would be fun. Yeah, okay.
All right,
Let's think of a description of the other one.
So, should we do it now or should we do it afterwards? I think we've got to do it now so that people know what we're going to type in, don't we? Because they've already seen the thumbnail.
You have to start.
They've already seen the thumbnail. All right. I'm going to say. I'm going to be complimentary, but it doesn't mean you have to be complimentary to me. Okay. I'm going to say. Handsome, slender German man with big headphones and baseball cap and gigantic microphone. Yeah, your microphone's way too big, man. You're compensating for something. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's actually not that big.
Is your face like really small?
I need a stand.
No, that's become your thing now. One day you're going to put the microphone down and people are going to be like, oh, I remember when he used to hold his microphone. Yeah, now he just puts it in
the thing is, with this microphone, I just think I need another microphone. Because if I hold this back like this, it's already a lot quieter. And I really have to have it this close so it makes the sound.
Most of the apps we record on, it's pretty good compression anyway, so you'd probably be fine. All right, anyway, your turn to describe me.
Yeah. So, I will say...
Potato
huge
man.
Asshole. No, I'm sorry.
This is going to be me bent over with my ass up in the air.
What should I say? Bearded guy with a bandmate hat and glasses, wearing headphones, living in Japan.
Oh, okay. It's totally going to make me Japanese. Everyone's going to be like, Howard, you're a weeb.
I mean, you have a lot of Japanese things like here around you, but you really don't look Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm pretty sure AI is not going to see it that way, but that's good. That's what we typed in. So everyone at home, you saw the thumbnail already. That's how we came to those conclusions. And let us know.
It's going to be weird.
Let us know what you want, how you would describe Neon, and we'll present him with pictures of him next time. So tell us how you would present Neon, and we'll present him with a picture of him. There you go. All right, guys. Anyway, there you go. So we haven't got Neon for the outro, but Benedikt is now well versed. He's one of us. You ready? So, everybody at home, it's time to keep your ears to the east.